The video you're about to watch is workplace friendly, family friendly, and of course, advertiser friendly. You Make It, We Mock It is where we take viewer-created objects and accelerate them beyond the speed of sound. The series allows people to use their imagination to come up with unusual shapes using unusual materials while they show off their amazing fabrication skills. To everyone who's submitted ideas, it's better to try and fail than never try at all. We salute you. We received another batch of Aero-Spike slugs from Dr. Chris, full-time psychiatrist and part-time machinist. Because he sent so many different types, we'll have to break it down. There's just not enough time in the day to film all these in one shot. We'll be testing the 30-06 AP with the aluminum body, the Russian API rounds also with an aluminum body, and two more Russian APIs mounted in a stainless steel body. The aluminum projectiles weigh about 19 grams, the stainless steel around 29 grams. All these use the Solid Diablo aerodynamic bodies. I want to thank Justin for supplying the Russian API rounds so that Chris could utilize them in his design. Though these can be classified as a non-discarding Sabo, they will still be loaded into a Sabo.
Hey, it's that guy!
That guy! Welcome back, Top Flater folks. Officer Greg out here with Jeff and young Danny boy over there where Jeff just pointed.
A flattery will get you anywhere.
Maybe I'll get one of those straw hats covered in duct tape. Hey, we're out here with you today shooting some of these rounds that we're sending to Jeff.
Diablo shape.
Diablo.
Yes.
Not Diablo. Not the devil.
People always want to correct it. They even say we're saying Diablo wrong.
Of course they do. And then some
No, they're just API rounds. Russian.
API.
From World. I think these are all World War II vintage bullets.
7.62 by 54 is what we believe these to be.
Yes.
We've got some Russian ballistic gelatin down there, however, made out of wood. And we're going to fire them through Danny's rifled barrel here to see what kind of spin we can put on these things, see if they're accurate, see if they'll penetrate the Russian ballistic jelly. So
let's start out. Let's do the black tip first.
Ooh.
With the aluminum body. Then we'll go the API Russian at the same target.
Okay, you'll have to tell me which ones those are because evidently I got them wrong.
Yes,
right.
It pays to be wrong though. Well, that way people can correct you on the internet.
What would the comment section down there be?
If we did everything perfect, they'd have nothing to comment about.
Oh, boom. So,
that's the psychology here.
All right, folks, and welcome back to the Hickok channel.
Hey, glad you're
on
here.
The range today, so please bear with me if you hear a gunfire in the background. All right, let's get to it.
We are firing into that ditch there, in case anyone, it's hard to tell, but there's an actual ditch berm back there that we're actually firing into. It's completely safe. Okay, I am ready whenever you are.
All right, here we go. Middle of the pink dot, hopefully.
Excellent.
Not very much recoil.
1343 feet per second.
Typically, the first shots we're trying to figure out where the point of impact is going to be. Ballistics vary quite a bit from one type of ammo to another. But for the most part, the projectile was relatively stable. It had a little bit of a wobble to it. Now upon impact, the bullet is released from the aluminum body. We do see pieces of wood being knocked out the side, but we don't see any sign of the bullet emerging from the wood.
Russian API.
What does that stand for?
It's some Russian word, I don't know.
Happy.
Yeah. Okay, I'm ready.
Here we go. Sink the
1107.
Well, we had a little lower velocity on this one because I used those green wads, which we found out have a pretty sloppy fit to the barrel. This shot was just a little more accurate, and we actually see the bullet shooting out the side of the block in this shot.
So I was trying to hold over for Danny's red dot. I actually held the red dot at the top. So at least at this short distance, it appears that dot appears to be right on.
Well, the wind is just dead on, so.
The slug cut a perfect little hole in there and buried itself.
And did the tip come out the back or anything?
No, sir.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's my little wooden block baby. It's just like me. Hey, so this is exactly the way the sticker was. Previous one, this one burrowed itself a little bit deeper in there.
That's good. I can dig those out and.
Sure, when you got nothing else to do on Saturday night.
Exactly. Not today.
Nothing passed through.
We're running out of sunlight.
Nothing passed through the crack. But,
okay, we might have to do something harder, like the lead plate, and see what happens.
All right. I heard there's a 30-pound lead plate now.
Yeah, I don't know how we're going to support it, but it's...
How much does it weigh?
Many kilos. Yeah.
All right. Let's do it.
Black tip against a 30-pound lead plate. It just keeps getting bigger. It's huge.
That's like $27.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Aiming on the left side of the plate, right?
Yes, there's a little arrow there, so you know which one.
Okay.
Which
People always want to know. They want a laser beam mounted to the gun for some reason.
It's a new black laser. It costs more.
Oh, okay. I'm ready.
Don't use it at night. Here we go.
A little bit low.
Wow, that thing sat still. Look at that.
Yeah, it takes a lot to move a 30-pound lead plate, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, in this shot, the projectile hit a little bit low. It's entirely possible that Greg just adjusted his point of aim a little bit based on the first shot, so accuracy can always be a little subjective. Normally, Greg and Danny will hold the same point of aim and only make adjustments after seeing a trend. But because we had such a limited quantity of these projectiles, we didn't have the luxury to really sight these things in. Anyway, I hope that makes sense.
Okay, now we'll see if the Russians know their stuff better as far as bullets. The Russian bullet.
You're going to get some Russian commenters right now.
I'm getting a lot of Russian comments on the ammo box video for some reason.
I like it when
they don't like it. They're cussing and stuff. And
I like it when they write in Russian. I always imagine that you guys are fine shots and good looking, good at dancing. Who knows?
Okay, you're aiming at the center.
Here we go.
Okay, I'm ready. Hey, a little smoke.
Yeah. Clear.
Test number 4 using the Russian API. We had excellent results. The API acted like an API in this shot. And I don't think it's possible to get a more accurate shot than that. Greg's definitely got it dialed in now. Good shooting, buddy. Next we'll test out the stainless steel API rounds. They are about 10 grams heavier, so once again we'll have some completely different ballistics.
Okay, he's aiming at the dot on the right. This is stainless steel, considerably heavier, more energy. And
it won't stain, that's what's important.
It won't stain. Okay, I'm ready when you are.
Here we go.
Oh, a little low left.
The stainless steel projectile being heavier left a larger crater, but in this one we didn't see the API doing its API thing. Yes, I am purposely being a little vague here, but it's entirely possible because of the age of these, or just being Russian, they're just not completely reliable. Now I asked Greg to aim a little to the left of the dot on this one just because Chris spent hours making each one of these and I wanted to make sure he just hit the plate.
All right, what are the results? Did the Americans win, or the Russians, or the stainless steel?
So here's our first round. Buried itself in there. You can see a little bit of how it polished that lead plate as it was going, as it was
that's
burrowing
interesting.
in there.
You can see the bullet down in there.
You can see the base of that round in there. This was, of course, where I was aiming, so that one was a little low.
Yeah.
And on the back, you can actually see the tip of the round. It either flattened itself out or came out a little hollow pointed right there.
Wow, it came through.
Number 2 was dead nuts on, right there in the center.
Russians, yes.
However,
Spasiba.
However, Russians, the round ejected out of that slug at an angle, came out low.
Whoa, it went through a really thick plate. How thick is that plate?
What is that?
40 millimeter? 30 millimeter?
Yeah.
Inch and a half?
Sometimes I think it's like 6 or 8 inches.
Okay.
So the round ejected kind of out to the left. And
that's a lot of lead to go through.
That is a lot of lead. This thing, folks, is as heavy as a Toyota Corolla right there.
At least 30. Do you weigh it? Did you actually weigh? We didn't. It was.
But we had.
He just cast it right before I came to his house.
Still hot, huh?
Yeah.
I had to cool it off. Period.
In the sink, in the kitchen
And we were
sink.
joking that Danny dropped his bracelet in there while it was still wet. So
Yeah.
we could find anything in there. This is number 3, aiming for that little circle, but it burrowed itself right in there. You can see the base of the round plowed in there, and we can't. It's wiggly, but it won't come
That's a
out.
stainless steel one, so it's a little tougher.
Yeah, and it's stuck in there. We can't get that.
And did it go through? I saw it
However,
wiggle a little bit. I think you're lying to us.
That one fired the round right out of it.
Wow.
And straight through.
Nice, man. These are awesome.
And we got a couple of strike marks on the ground out behind the target where the
I
bullets,
see them.
the
Yeah.
bullets struck, but we were unable to recover said bullets.
You're right. At least we got these, you know, or some of these.
I wonder if this tastes like lead.
Yeah. Make sure you wash your hands. Okay, black tip, aluminum body. Aiming at the dot on the left. We're just repeating what we did with the lead plate. I am ready.
Ready, cabron. Woo, set that thing spinning.
Now bear in mind, I can't think of any factory 12 gauge ammunition that will even come close to penetrating a 3/8 inch mild steel plate. And we're really not driving these very hard, just under 1400 feet per second. Now when we test the other Aero-Spikes that Chris sent, I do want to propel those at a higher velocity. These things are really tricky to load. You can't put a normal roll crimp on them. So I'm going to have to come up with a way of loading these things where they reliably function without a roll crimp. But for traveling at only 1400 feet per second, these function very well.
Okay, Russian API, aluminum body, center of the target. Oh yeah,
Look at that blue smoke.
that was cool.
Alright, in this shot the API put on a really good show for us. We are seeing some consistency. They are consistently all shooting, inch and a half low. With the very bright flash these things produce, I imagine if you're shooting long range with them, it makes it very easy to tell where the bullets are impacting.
Stainless steel, Russian API.
Yes. There we go. A little bit left of the right black dot.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh yeah. That's an API.
Well, this shot was a little wonky because some of the wadding was still stuck to the projectile. But despite that, it functioned pretty well. Now the flash occurs very quickly. You don't see it very well with a real-time camera because of the frame rate and everything. You definitely see it very well in real time when you're watching it with your own eyeballs. And of course you see it very well when you're running a camera at around 4,000 frames a second.
Who won, the Russians or the Americans?
You be the judge. All right, TAOFLEDER folks. Aiming for the black dot. First round hit low.
This is mild steel. What is it? Is that half inch or 3/8?
That's 3/8.
Okay.
It hit low. This is the aluminum slug that was carrying the round. You can see how it skipped off at an angle. We set our steel targets at an angle so they do not bounce back and hit us right in the eyeballs.
It doesn't. They talk about sloped armor and stuff like that, and
Jesus.
Safety comes first. People want to just shoot things dead on, square.
Negative.
That's not safe.
We would rather
I've seen
walk
some
out of here.
people, not mentioning any names, come very close to getting hit with large caliber ricochets.
And we would like to leave with the same number of holes that we arrived with.
Yeah, we
so-
got to promote safety here, you know.
Well, that's why those cars that are 25 yards in the background, you can see them way out there. They take that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So that first round made an impressive result. Look at that. The bullet.
That's the
portion of
black
that
tip, American.
punched right through that thing, but stuck.
Yep.
You can make lemon juice on that now. Then over here, here's number 2. Hit low again. Punched in there. The wad bounced back.
I think it's your aim because they're all consistently low. We got to blame something, you know.
Sure.
Okay. No.
So that one hit low. However, this one left this big old black flash up here.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Left all this soot up here.
Yeah.
And Made a little tiny dimple there.
Oh, Russia, you failed.
Come on, Russia.
Russian failures.
That's right. And then number 3 over here also hit low. I was aiming left, but it hit low. Plowed in there. The slug bounced back. Left a little bit of a jacket of something in there, and almost wanted to make it through.
It's peeking out there.
It's peeking out. It's wee peeking
But
out.
American, they're all loaded exactly the same. No favoritism here.
Oh.
That's awesome, man.
So,
That's amazing.
It's made by a psychiatrist. Or was it a psychologist?
We're still having problems with videos becoming demonetized on YouTube. And we don't know why, because we're really following their rules, their printed rules, to the T. Just the other day, the airsoft video where we propelled airsoft BBs to like 5,000 feet per second was demonetized. I emailed partner support asking them to re-review it. They came back and confirmed, hey, it's not suitable for ads. This time they gave me a reason, and it's even more mysterious now. And the reason they gave me is because it's violating violence and tragedy policy related to firearms. There's nothing tragic or violent in the video, unless shooting at a plaster of Paris gummy bear is now taboo. I have no idea. But thank you, Patreons, for your support.